Hello everyone, my name is Tika, and today we're playing Wildermyth. Before we begin, I want to thank you for joining me, and remind you to take a moment to stretch, get a drink of water, and settle in for what will hopefully be a fun video. Now, Wildermyth is one of my favorite games. I've already played it, as you can see here. I have another play file where I have a whole bunch of legacy characters, but we're going to be starting from the beginning, so all of you guys can see just how cool this game really is. This is a very text-driven game, a very cute little RPG, and there's a whole bunch of different stories that you can play out here. But everyone has to start with the Age of Ulstryx. It's the tutorial story, and it's pretty good, I think. I have it on the easiest setting, just because I always choose the story mode in RPG games. I don't care about the combat systems all that much. I'm here all the way for the story, and I'm not going to pick any of these. I'm not going to risk it with only one save file. I like having a bunch of backups in place just in case, and I actually don't know how to mod this game, so no worries about me cheating here. One of my favorite features of this game are the characters. As you can see, they all have their own little flavor text underneath. Poetical goofball, hot-headed snark, greedy loner, and this actually affects what they say and how they interact with each other and the other characters that they find throughout the story, which I think is really cool. I'm just going to re-roll these guys. I like to make sure that all of my characters have unique text. I don't like having doubles, just because I feel like that makes for more interesting character relationships. So we have Athesha, the goofish loner, Vidaru, the aloof hothead, and Jaya, the snarky coward. Now, if you go in here, you can actually go in and change it so that they are male instead. This could be non-binary, male, female. I'm going to leave them as is. You can also, I like to go in and just change it so that they're attracted to anyone. It makes for more interesting story. As you can see, I have allowed random romances, random rivalries, allow children, and this is where these little text underneath their names, the aloof hothead, their little flavor text, this is where that comes in, because different personality types will conflict with each other, and different personality types complement each other. And so, although a lot of the times the chance to dictate what their relationships are arise for you, sometimes they will develop all on their own. So I'm making sure that, yep, they all have very distinct faces, distinct personality types, and I'm just gonna go with that. Let's start. Now, as I said, this is a very text-based game. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading. The stories are written by a lot of different people, so you get a lot of different kinds of story, a lot of different interesting developments based on which event you trigger. So that's always fun. Now I'm going to start now. This book, there's room in it for another story. It's cold. I'm stuck here. Do I dare to write in it? Right. Then this must be the beginning. Here in our yondering country, something in the woods is very strange. Tugged at only by the gentle desire to see friends, a young woman named Athesha took the seasonal road to the town of Griffinmance. Everyone's life is their own private legend, and mine's no different. Sure, the tale of Athesha Griffmiller might be dull, but it's my own. It will go as I choose, not be written by someone else. All right, no more useless thoughts. Morning's getting late, and I still have to drag Vidaru out his door. He'll have something ready to argue about that'll take all our time. Smoke? Smoke! And this is what I was talking about, where we can choose the relationship. If you choose friendship, it can develop into a rivalry or develop into a romance of its own accord. So that's what I'm going to do every time this shows up, just for our first 3. And as more relationships happen in the future, you guys can tell me what you think we should do. Fidaru, tell me it wasn't you this time. Okay, and so I guess we're not getting the tutorial bit because I've already played the game, but these green squares mean that once you've reached there, you still have action points. So the yellow squares, once I've gone that far, I no longer have action points. So I'm going to go all the way over here into these yellow squares, and I've used up all of my action points to get there. And here I can open the door. Well, his home looks fine. Fidaru! Griffin Manse is burning! You in there? Is that Athesha? Coming! You'll never believe this. Why won't I believe? No time now. These things came. I'm not sure what they were. Cause chaos. This one behind the house won't leave. Grab something and hit it. Garu, it says. Alright, I always pick the frying pan because why not? We can beat the thing, right? Or we can't. We'll find out once we open that door. Be ready. And these are our foe cards. They tell us about our enemies. So the one that we're facing here is a roe. Hooves thrown sloppily around beneath it. It runs staggering, bellowing its agony. Does not sound fun. So here I am, and I can go up here and I can link up with my friend here. You can't really see it, but there is a shield icon now that we're standing next to each other. And that means that we are doubly defended because we're... See? There it is. We are doubly defended. Our defense goes up. Oh, there's the enemy, and I just moved him to a place where he has no action cards. Yeah, see? Walling. Reduce damage. Stand adjacent to an ally to wall with them. Walling reduces incoming damage by 1 and does not stack. Well, because he does not have the strength, or he doesn't have any action points, he can't attack. So I'm just going to move over here and defend him. Oh, now he does. He's too close. This is a ranged fighter, so he's too close, actually, to fight him. We have to go at distance and then shoot. There we go. 1 hit. Alright. Athesha Griffmiller is now a greenhorn warrior. Warriors like Athesha are built hardy, enduring, with a natural aptitude for battle. They develop powerful techniques for close combat. Now we get to choose her ability, which will influence how she fights. Now, Raider is an active ability. It's a swift action once per turn. Athesha can start a fire in an empty tile, or break a piece of adjacent scenery, dealing 2 damage to all foes adjacent to the scenery. Backslam is also an active ability. As a swift action, every other turn, Athesha summons a heave of strength to drive an enemy to a nearby tile. With a shield, this also deals 2 to 3 damage. And Paladin is a passive ability. If Athesha ends her turn by moving, she will automatically enter Guardian. Now, Guardian isn't on here, but Guardian is another ability that you can get as an active thing. Basically, it means that she starts protecting a certain set of tiles, and if an enemy steps into those tiles, then she will attack automatically. So I'm going to choose Paladin, because it allows us to protect the weaker members of the party. Now, Fidaru Odin is now a greenhorn hunter. Hunters like Fidaru thrive in the wild, surviving through stealth and peerless archery. They master their surroundings and bring down large quarry. So, Through Shot is an active ability. Fidaru fires a cleverly placed arrow that will pass through the first target and hit the next target in a line within attack range. Thornfang is passive. Fidaru is refunded an action point for each melee kill, up to 1 time per turn. Ambush is an active ability. Fidaru draws back, shooting the first enemy who enters the threatened tiles, dealing an extra 2 damage. If the shot is not sprung, Fidaru gets a free attack at the beginning of his next turn. Now, Ambush functions very similarly to Guardian, where he's protecting a set number of tiles, and any enemy who steps onto those tiles will automatically be attacked, even if it's not Fidaru's turn. So I'm going to use Ambush, so that these two friends of ours have similar abilities. This is a dodge. I'm going to give it to Athesha Griffmiller because she is our melee fighter. Well, that was easier than I thought. We wrecked that thing. We should go. Jaya is alone. I don't owe her anything, but a promise is a promise. Now? Up to that shadowy ruin? What about the village? The fire's out, the thing is dead. The other townsfolk will do what needs doing, and I don't know, but now that you mention it, the tracks do lead that way. Why was Jaya so intent on meeting us there? That old black tower. How much more ominous could it be? Oh, Jaya, hiding in your questions. What weird answers will you find? Okay, so now we get to choose Fidaru's relationship with Jaya. Now, like I said, I'm going to put friendship for everyone, and their relationships can develop from then on. You and Jaya are good friends. Should we be worried? About Jaya? I don't think so. Weird things do tend to happen around her, but she's probably up there now, figuring things out. Okay, so now this is the movement thing. So this is scouting. In order to find sites in the wilderness, heroes must scout the land, which takes time. Click on an unscouted tile to show the scout action. So we click here, and we're going to scout. And we're going to take these two over there. As you see up at the top of the screen, time is passing. It has been 18 days since the first attack on our village. The previous night, the tower where Jaya had chosen to meet was a place she often used to escape to as a girl. She knew its rooms and floors so well, she could survive being chased through them. But they were a bit dusty. I suppose now I wait. Oh, I read that backwards. Unless that beast breaks through. Beast? You still there, beast? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Beast noises. The tower had outlived generations. Now it was little more than a strange nest for owls and trysting lovers. But as the old will tell you, in dusty shadows, shy things long go overlooked. That book! Why have I never... Are you wondering why I'm talking to myself, beast? I'm also wondering. The book felt heavier than its slender spine suggested. It was full of strange stories, the folklore of folk long forgotten. The Chained Girl gave no great insight. It was the uncomfortable story of a girl bound to a rock by her parents, who sent her spirit free, moving through the links of the chain that bound her. The Tears of Oakman was a weird, rootless tragedy of a man made of oak who stood on a sea cliff and rotted, waiting for his driftwood lover to wash ashore. The flotsam beauty floated always on the edge of the tide. The Griffin-Mance magician said a magician was born who banged solid rings together so stubbornly that they joined, and by this method he connected all the stories ever told. Jaya reached the last word of the final tall tale. A few blank pages were left. This book. There's room in it for another story. It's cold. I'm stuck here. Right. Then this must be the beginning. Here in our yondering country. Jaya wrote, not sure why, but finding words ready. Omens had taken shape in the fabric of the land. There, inside the weird, turning hearts that thrummed in things. Something in the woods is very strange. Some were just misgivings. They crept through her body like sourceless aches one wakes with. Others were more substantial. Now they seemed a thundering promise of doom. From the shadowy fringes of the lands we claim as our own. To the huddled homes good families have grown up in, fears have begun to pool and fester, drowning good sense. In the wild black woods where birds once belled, a hateful silence churns. A sudden, startling pain lit Jaya's head. It subsided. For a moment, she felt very blank. The story she'd written lay before her in luminous script, and more empty pages seemed to have sprouted up behind it. Why do I feel powerful? And of course, we're going to choose a spoon. Open wide. Beast noises. Now, this is another one of my favorite parts of this game. It is the magic system. Now let's read this folk card first. Rager. It charges without seeing, misshapen tusks swinging wildly. Now the magic system is really cool. You actually have to interact with objects, so I'm going to waste a bit of time and action points here. I'm going to interfuse with this table. And so now I can use that table to splinter blast. So I'm just going to do that. And I blow up the table to attack things in that direction, which is really cool, really interesting. Not a thing that I've seen in magic systems before, so that's always fun. Yes, here they explain it much better than I do. Interfuse with an object, then use the object to attack. Yes. I should have just kept going. Oh, but he left, so I can't interfuse with him or with anything near him. I'm going to interfuse with this coat rack, and then I am going to interfuse again with this workbench. Now I've used up all my action points, and the Rager hasn't come back. Can I do a Splinter Blast, and can I hurt him? I can! Boom! So the mages in this game are also distance fighters, but they can also do melee attacks. Jaya has grown stronger. As a mystic, Jaya has acquired the knack for interfusing her spirit with earthly things, drawing on these bonds to enact formidable magics. Now, the mystics, not mages, mystics, can specialize in specific types of material that they interfuse with. So, so a humanist, advanced interfusions based on human artifice, instruments, and accidents. So you can interfuse with like machines and things like that. Versus over here, the Earth Scribe, advanced interfusion abilities for stones and bones. So that's always fun. Especially there's another one of the stories that we can play through where there's bones everywhere. And so this one is of great import. Spirit Blade. When allies stand next to an interfused object, they gain +1 damage. Interfused blazes can be used to grant nearby allies fiery attacks. I'm going to do Earth Scribe just because it also grants allies the ability to wall with objects that we've interfused with and grants them armor and warding. And we have no one else we can give this to, but it does grant warding, which is a mystic ability. So we are going to take this Sash of Divinity. Did I just do that? I did. I felt the something. And does this mean I'm a storybook character? I suppose I should find a talking animal to give me a quest. Jaya, you alright? Thanks for coming, Fidaru. Athisha, glad you made it too. You see that smoke? That's from Griffin Mance. Yeah, that's Griffin Mance. It's burning? How? Garu. I've been a little busy myself, actually. Would you two mind terribly if we... I'm not so sure if you've ever seen a monster? Sure we have. We slay monsters. Well, I'm a weird magician. Now, this is interesting. I haven't had this exact combo of personality types before, so a lot of the dialogue I'm seeing for the very first time too. So it's very fun. Sites. You've discovered a new site. It's still under enemy control though. Click on the banner to assault it. Click. Let's go. I'm not the one with the plans. Okay. So we can choose offensive tactics with Fidaru or defensive tactics with Jaya. Trust me, I just came out of there. Yeah, that seems to make the most sense, so that's what I'm going to go with. We might need to open the door. All of Jaya's dialogue is new to me, This is very fun. I might have to go and see what her personality type is again, just so I can remember it for the future. Our foe cards. So these are the enemies that we will be facing inside. We have a raccoon scrambling through the shadows. Its barbed appendages eagerly twitch. And we've already seen a row. Okay, action points. I think I've already explained this, but we can go ahead and read through this as well. Single action ends turn. Yeah, requires 1 action point, ends the hero's turn. So we have to be very careful about what we do when. And I don't like using the ranger to go first just because he can't attack up close. Unlike the warrior and the mystic. They can attack up close. But the ranger cannot. So I feel like it's always better. Or hunter, not ranger. Apologies. Alright, this has been revealed. So I can put myself in front of him. And she can go over here. And if I end my turn here, then I will immediately enter Guardian. And he can attack here. But it was blocked by the doorway. So scenery is important. See? Because it stepped inside of her guarding squares, she immediately attacked it. So here is... I'm just going to have Athesha do it. Because she's right here. Oh, he dodged it! Ooh. Flanking, 100% hit chance. Flank an enemy with an attack 90 degrees or more from previous attack that turn. So if I can get him... Oh, that won't work. Well, it might. No, he's too close. He's too close. I forgot my own rule that I don't want him to be too close to the enemy. But I can attack him this way. 2 damage. And now I will go over here and smack him. 6 damage. And we're all walled up. And depending on who did the most damage to the enemies, that influences how much experience you get. So this will give us melee and ranged accuracy. I am going to give that to Fidaru. Claim. Some dawns are gray that should be golden. The smell of ash embitters the taste of victory. No rain. I wish we'd get some rain. Hey, nothing's over. There's more of those things out there, and they'll mass. They'll hit us harder. Why wouldn't they? What started here could be much bigger than us. So I was thinking, let's not wait to be overrun. We'll walk these lands. We'll learn how to fight. We'll send out word, a call for the able and strong, and we'll name this company of heroes... the Crucible of Song, the Magi of Blushing North, the Wolves of Ira? Or we can use our own name. Now, I am just going to go with the Wolves of Ira, because that sounds cool. If we ever play another campaign in the future, then maybe you guys can give me names for our little mercenary band. I can lend my own hands, of course. We'll see who volunteers to join us. I'm in as well. I wouldn't be able to live with myself otherwise. Here follow the tales of the Wolves of Ira. Be remembered. And we finished the first little introductory chapter. And our enemies do get stronger every time. So the raccoon is now more armored. And these are where you see the different types of enemy we have. There's Gorgons, who are our main enemy, but there's also Drauven, Deepists, but they're not present in this story, Morthagi, and Thrixl. They're all very interesting. The Thrixl are mystics. They interfuse with objects. I'm not too sure what the specialties of the Morthagi and Drauven are. I haven't actually encountered very many Drauven or Deepists in all of my other games. I guess I haven't played through their stories. But the Morthagi are kind of like undead. And so we can go here and... Oh, get legacy points by taking new sites. And you use legacy points to buy things and like make sure that the piece that you fight for is lasting. So we're gonna go here. Oof! There's definitely some angry spirits hovering close. We're not sleeping here, are we? And we're going to secure this area by investigating thoroughly. And that actually costs more time than investigating quickly and just taking what you can see. As you can see, we're already in spring of the year as opposed to winter when we started. A thorough delving through the mysteries of Makar Pillar has proven rewarding. Makar Pillar will return to the hands of the common folk. While they tend it, the site will provide resources at the end of each chapter. And that's important. So we got hide, ingots, and spell threads. And we got an igneous necklace, plus bonus damage. We're going to give that to Athesha. Our warrior gets all the damage stuff. So, I'm going to send everyone back to Griffin Manse. And next week, we will recruit a new member. So, that's all for today, folks. I hope you really enjoyed our little venture into Wildermyth. Bye-bye.